Hi everybody, Lance the option teacher here. This video we're going to go over the economic news, technical analysis of major indices. We'll also look at NVIDIA and earnings reports for November 24 through 28, 2025. So pretty big down week in the market. If you look on this big red candle here on Thursday, we opened up very high with positive earnings on NVIDIA, better than expected. We were up about 1.6% at one point, even went up a little bit more after the open, and then just took away all those gains and then some, ended up down over 1%. It was a very big swing day in terms of SPY and the Qs. Friday was a little bit better. There was some fighting between the buyers and sellers, but we did end up positive. You see if the volume profile at the 663, we are now a little bit below that. So 663 was trying to be a support level in the daily chart. If you look at these two candles, there's a slight doji candles here that were showing a little bit of indecision up to the NVIDIA earnings. And NVIDIA is about 10% of the S&P 500, so that's a very large part of SPY. Fell through and then recovered a little bit, but now the 662 might act as a resistance level instead of a previous support level when we're above it. Slightly below the EMAs, but above the 200 simple moving average. MACD is looking very bearish. RSI is pretty bearish. With that update, we do have an upward slope, so we want to see the continuation there if you're a bull. We did hit oversold though, so there's still some room for it to drop. On the Qs, it's a similar story. The 603 level was acting as a support, fell through the support, and then a slight update might act as a resistance if we see some upward pressure. MACD is curling downward. RSI again, not in the oversold, but pretty close to it. The small caps, they were having a bit of trouble. The down moves here, again, the Thursday was bad for pretty much every market. Had a pretty big up move on the Friday, though. So some of the economic conditions might be changing based on IWM having this big up day. If you also look at SCHD, your large cap value fund, SCHD had a much bigger update than SPY, so there might be some room for the more safer quote-unquote value type companies that have not crazy valuations and pretty decent earnings and income. Look at the VIX. We had a pretty big spike on that Thursday. At open, we're at 20, and we actually hit a high of 28 all in one day, so that's a very big move in the VIX. It did settle down a little bit on Friday, but we're still at 23, which is a little bit elevated. Could be a good time to be selling premium in this case because the volatility is higher. You'll get more returns for a given amount of risk, or you could go even further out of the money on certain puts, for instance, to have a little bit more of a safety net there. Looking at earnings, not too much this week. We do have Dell and Hewlett Packard on Monday. Tuesday. Wednesday we have Deere, and then no earnings. Market again is closed on Thursday, and then closes in the afternoon on Friday. So pretty short week in general. If we look at any economic news, we have this PPI and retail sales. Retail sales will be interesting to see how we go into Black Friday and other sales throughout many businesses. Wednesday, we do have unemployment claims. So Tuesday and Wednesday, pre-market, I'll definitely look out for that. And the rest of the week is pretty much nothing there. Possible trade I'll give you guys. If you look at Crocs had a big up move. On my Theta Pro indicator I helped develop, it said sell put a few days ago. We have a continuation on the upside. We're in the upper part of the Bollinger Band. This is the average. I'm a little bit above it at 81. And I'm saying to consider 70-65 put credit spread. Depending on what the premium is on Monday, that could be a possible trade. Now, speaking of that, I do option trades every day on credit spreads, typically at lunchtime. We did a Dollar General, AVGO, Apple, and then we do 0DTE as well, where right around 8:50 to 9 o'clock, I'll give a put credit spread or call credit spread. This one made a max profit on Friday for $45 off a 10 width, so that's 4.5% on your money in a day. So if you are interested in seeing these weekly videos, getting daily credit spread trades from me, and you could ask me questions on the Discord. We're going to be running a Black Friday sale starting on Friday. I'm not going to do these early Black Fridays, 5 weeks before. So Black Friday into the weekend, we'll be doing a sale, and it's likely going to be on some of these trades. I'm not sure exactly which one yet, but we're looking for members that are interested in selling premium to get consistent income. So if interested, just be aware. There'll be a future video about it, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of the weekend.